Let me jump in. Man, you first off, you hit the nail on the head. When they look at rape from a criminal standpoint, it's not a crime of passion; it's a crime of power. And the rape culture really has its roots, in my opinion, from the fact that in majority of cases, you have men that are not willing to accept the autonomy and the personhood of a woman. Like they see them as an object. Like we have a car, so that car exists to drive me where I want to go. I don't consider how did the car feel about it. Does it prefer 87 over 93? No, that's my car. I do what I want to do with my car. Or if I have a pair of jeans, I wear them how I want to wear them when I want to wear them. And men, for the most part, get into this idea that they're owed something or they deserve something from a woman simply because she exists. And it's not being able to say, this is a woman that, and so when we use that whole, oh, well, you shouldn't wear that, that's a straw man argument. Because at the end of the day, it's not even about what she's wearing. It's about you feeling like you got the power to do whatever you want to do. And that's where when you think about it, obviously, there was a time when in many, not if not most cultures, women were property, And so coming into this new age where we're finally getting it right, we're less wrong than we were back then. And we're saying that, women deserve to have these rights, which who are we to say what they should have been had rights, but I digress. But you still have, that culture, guys that say, oh man, if she do this, and that, she want it, it's yours, this, that, and the other. And that conversation needs to pivot away from you're owed something from a woman to, if I'm talking to my son, hey, you need to be this kind of person. And if a woman wants to entertain you in any kind of way, it's the quality of your character and who you are. It's not you got a right to a woman because you're a man, because that's not true. People are people and they have the right. And what I challenge a lot of guys, think about how you would feel if you were violated the same way that you feel it's okay to violate a woman. And they do a lot of comedy skits, but it's very, while it's funny, it's there's a lot of revelation to it, like calling in like, hey, you with the gray sweatpants on, and you laugh about it. But the thing about it is that's how we treat women and we think it's okay. But then when you turn it around, we feel some kind of way about it. So, changing that culture is women are not objects, and you don't have a right to a whole nother person. That's madness. So if that'd be a good start to kill that madness.
I want to add that I think rape is one of the hardest crimes to prove because it's one person's word against the other. And usually most rapes are somebody that that you're acquainted with, that you've trusted in the past. And so when that incidents happen, it's your word against theirs. Their perception of what happened is different from what your perception is. And then you have a group of people who are pressuring you that you're going to ruin this person's life, by making this claim against them. And then there's a unspoken and a spoken rule between Black women that I don't want to contribute to putting yet another Black man in jail because of, my accusation. So I will take one for the culture in order not to play into, putting another Black man in jail. And I think that happens so much. That's why so many women just stay silent, because they understand the stigma that's going to come along with it, the criticism, the eyes on them, and then the backlash, if they go forward with it and prosecute it and send this man to jail.
Yeah, I would like to take it a little bit further with what John said. I know it's good to flip it up and say, okay, guys with the gray sweatpants, because we say that we want to see something, show me something. Okay. But I think we need to take it further. What if that's your mother? Now we getting personal with it. So your mother's getting out the car. My son would not like me getting out the car and somebody catcalling me to the point where I'm uncomfortable. Now let's go further. Okay, not your mother. You don't have a relationship with your mother. You don't care. You don't want to hear that. Your grandmama, the one who raised you. Let's go further. So I think when we personalize instead of trying to separate ourselves from that, oh, I don't know nobody. It's almost like the COVID thing. At first, I was like, this is the flu. But then when it started hitting people close to me, I need a mask. I'm trying to figure out what shot I want to get. So what I'm saying is let's rip that part out and bring us closer to the situation instead of being all back. It don't have nothing to do with me. I don't got nothing to do with it, because we don't want to get involved in different things. Just like if you see a domestic violence situation, sometimes we'll see it, but we don't react to it because we don't want to get involved. That culture is part of the rape culture as well, where we just don't say nothing. We don't act. That's their business. I don't want to get into it. There's always a way to analyze the situation to be able to diffuse it. So I think we need to really get ourselves proximate to the situation, opposed to, I don't got nothing, I don't know nobody, because it could be your mama, your grandmama, your sister, your auntie, or your niece, nephew these days. We can't forget about the guys either, because that's even harder, which is probably a whole nother conversation to deal with a sexual assault on a man. So I think we need to become closer to the situation.